How can you export unless you have a port? How can you import unless you have an airport? So these are integral factors. As far as China is concerned, the first thing they said is we are going to have 6 ports right along the coastline, especially the southern coastline. Said we are going to have our development around those ports. If you come from Hambantota all the way, you can buy any amount of locally made dry fish. Do you know the amount of money we spent in importing sprats, dry fish, all these things? So we have put a tax. If you are to help the local guy in Bentota or Hikkadua or Goal who is making dry fish and sprats, we have put a tax. I think it's 10%. Some extra tax on the imported fish. We have put a tax on canned fish. We have put all those items. Yesterday I was asked, why do you put a tax on tractors? Is it nice to, what are you going to? I said yes, because now we are trying to domestically produce tractors. There are companies that are going to make tractors in Sri Lanka. So a foreign tractor will have to be more expensive than the local one. So we have a whole range of taxes, also including food items, but subject to the condition that they are all imported food items as against local food items. So please understand why we are trying to do that. Is why should we be always talking of goods, export of goods? Is it possible? What are the challenges that export of goods will meet in this context that I have described? So this is going to be a big problem. What is very fortunate for us, I think, is that our main exporters or export items of goods are in very safe hands. The best managerial talent, by some coincidence, is in our garment industry, is in our tea industry, is in our commodities industry, in our IT industry, our gem and jewelry. Those who are the furthest cry from public service. None of those guys are public servants. Furthest away from these dull public servants who would never achieve those targets. You can ask me. Whatever socialism people may preach, socialists can't be exporters. That China has shown that very clearly. Communists can't be exporters. You have to go away from that, then you can export. So all the high points of our economy, as far as exports are concerned, is fortunately in the hands of a good managerial class. Our garment exporters, our tea exporters, our rubber exporters, our gem and jewelry exporters, IT, they are all successful because we have got the correct breed of managers. When we talk in Sri Lanka of trade or exports, we are thinking only of these traditional items. But the future is in the other areas. IT, for example. I think now we are getting about 600 million US dollars. We can easily make it a 5-6 billion business, maybe even more. Last year I went with Millennium Industry, I think Millennium IT, I can't remember the exact, is it Millennium IT? You know, the whole London Stock Exchange was designed and installed by Millennium IT out of Malabar. And I had the honor that day of, now they don't ring the bell, you know, you just press a button and then the whole thing lights up with you start the stock trading for that day. Actually not even press a button, you have to put a little block like thing into a slot. So I had the rare honor of starting the London Stock Exchange, not due to any credit to me, but due to the Millennium IT people. They have tremendous capacity, so much so that stock exchange bought shares, large amount of shares of that company. So we have tremendous potential in the services area, particularly in the tourism area. Now I come to very controversial areas. Can you have tourism? What is this nonsense that we are talking? Can you have tourism without modern, within quotes, entertainment and other services? I don't want to give the bad C word here, but you have to provide a whole range of services if we are to go from our tourism target of 1 billion, which we have now, US dollars, which we have achieved, to 2.5 billion in 2015, which is very doable if we have the correct policy mix. If you look at the number of hotels that are coming up, I think our targets of getting the hotel rooms are okay. But we have the C word, you have other words, so we have to take decisions on those and go ahead. If you want to read, I mean, can you, by showing some elephants or some dying breed in both political and other fashion, by showing them, can you jump your tourism from 1 million to 2.5 million? I mean, that is just wishful thinking. So if you want the tourism to increase from 1 million tourists to 2.5 million tourists, who will bring so many, I think, $3 billion or something like that, then you have to do it. So this is the sort of attitude that we have to have if we have to. So finally, I only want to say that we have got a good policy mix, and that we have to have the political will and determination to go through with it. Namely, firstly, secure our food security, make sure that our people have enough to eat. And I can tell you that globally, as far as achieving our MDGs are concerned, we are very high in the list. I mean, I think we are within the first 10 of achieving MDGs, and now we are in the process of formulating the post-2015 agenda. What is the 2015 agenda for MDGs? Where we have to transform education, principally for science and technology, so that people will not be talking only of so much of food, so much of infant mortality, life expectancy, all that, but go into more positive, since we have achieved that platform, to go into areas of growth, like education, science and technology, areas like that. So you have to think now. Even IPS must think about the post-2015 agenda, because that is what is being discussed now, and our ideas will be very useful, because we are front runners in achieving MDG goals. Because I have a big argument with someone all the time about women's employment and gender and all that, because we are getting a very bad press because of your research regarding gender employment. Everywhere we go, IPS has said that women are not employed in Sri Lanka and all that. So look at that again. But that is one fact. Achievement of MDGs and food security. Second is country-specific proposals for trade and investment. Fortunately, our front runners are good managerial category of people we have to strengthen them, and we are doing that infrastructure to be linked to the export markets. Now we are going to make Hambantota a free port, where there will be many concessions for exporters going out of Hambantota, so that the ports, the airports, the infrastructure should be factored in and will be factored in as part of the export growth strategy. And then to go into the services sector, because really we can't have this internal rebalancing, because we don't have such a domestic market for our products, though to a certain extent we should try to adjust, but we cannot do it on the scale of BRICS countries, where they can face the challenge of loss of markets in developed countries by looking at their internal demand. I don't think that is possible in small countries. And finally, we have to take cognizance of the fact that the global environment will be challenging. They always say things are changing, that it has taken a turn for the better and all that. Marginally, yes. But I think in the real sense of the word, we have to look at niche markets, look at value addition, look at specialized services, so that small Sri Lanka can be a different model for trade and investment. Thank you very much.